Thomas, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Glad to have you in here.
Thank you so much for having us. You know, it's conversations like this that I get so excited because everyday manufacturing can be fun, but we're in Montana, one of the most beautiful states in the entire country, and I think from the outside looking in, I wouldn't think that I would see all this automation, and I do everywhere at Spark R&D.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's kind of unassuming in that respect. Like, people come in here all the time and I give tours and our marketing give tours and they see the sheer amount of machines. This is in Montana. This is, you know, you guys are way big. I was expecting one machine, two machines, you know, just one or two people, and you know, we have a full manufacturing facility.
And I was blown away by what I've seen here, so thanks for having us in. Now let's talk about, as we're in Montana, a lot of you guys around this area, guys and gals, kind of follow your passions when it comes to manufacturing. You're not just necessarily making the components that the world might see, but you're making components that lead to a lifestyle you guys love. What are you making here at Spark R&D?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Bozeman lends itself great to the outdoors and things like that. So what we make here is we make a splitboard binding. That, you know, for people out there who don't exactly know, and maybe you don't know too much as well, but what we do is it's essentially like a Nordic ski that you can use to get up to the top of the mountains into the backcountry, rather than go in resort, you know, up at Big Sky or Bridger Mountain here in town. You know, we make the bindings that attach onto the splitboards so that you can get out into the backcountry and enjoy the beautiful environment that we have here.
Thomas, I think this is second nature for you, and coming in here, I was learning so much. So I want to help you guys who are out there. Maybe you live on the beaches of Florida like I do, and you don't have the beautiful mountains of Montana. So let's take a moment, just a moment, to go, look. You can walk in the snow. It's almost like those old cartoons with the tennis rackets on the feet that allow you to be on top of the snow instead of going deep into the snow and being tired in about 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
But even after that, what you're doing is, this is why it's called splitboard,
right,
is because the two pieces, which we've now envisioned, maybe sort of like skis, right? Imagine that. So two pieces sort of like skis that you walk on are now put together, and you can more or less snowboard down the mountain or down the hill of whatever you've climbed, right?
Exactly, nailed it right on the head. Yeah, and those snowshoes, you know, they're just so clunky, and at the end of the day you have to put them in your pack, or, you know, leave them at the top of the mountain, you know, or, you know, anything like that. Really, they don't really lend itself very easily to get into the backcountry and, you know, be as light as possible. So
but I want to get into the manufacturing side of things because we know we're a manufacturing channel and you want to hear more about that. You see a logo over here, it says MIDACO. Well, you also see a couple of Haas machines, vertical milling centers. And vertical milling centers, they do their job. 3-axis machines, they're going to come down, they're going to cut parts, usually pretty rigid. They do what they're supposed to do. 3-axis, XYZ style machines.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, and as we've already mentioned, automation.
Right.
And your business continues to grow. 16 years old, I believe, at this time.
Yep.
But continuing, I mean, the building, you've now doubled that space. You got a building across the street, you're getting into that space. So people are paying attention to the really great technology that you have actually patented, which can only be found here. So let's talk about, firstly, the importance of automation, Thomas.
Well, the importance of automation in a shop like this is really big because, I mean, you know, people who are coming to work here don't necessarily have like the biggest background in manufacturing because, like you said earlier, you know, Montana's not exactly known for its massive manufacturing industry or, you know, huge factories. It's not like, you know, Tesla's really itching to get to Bozeman. So automation's played a huge role in, you know, making the lives of our operators way easier, you know, workflow, reloading, making, you know, things run as fast and as accurate as possible. So with these machines and, you know, now with MIDACO added onto them, I mean, it's a massive improvement that we've seen. So,
you know, for the audience watching right now, guys, I talk about MIDACO. I've done this before where we talk about the importance of being able to keep the machines running. You know, it's spindle downtime that often is the, you know, the crutch in producing a real profitability, and MIDACO helps with that. And so we know that it's not rocket science to go, okay, if I keep my spindle running, I'm gonna make more money. I'm gonna be more efficient. But being here with you, Thomas, at Spark R&D, there's more to it than that, because in an 8-hour shift, you might lose about an hour of productivity because of your cleaning off the parts and putting new parts in. But in my head, even though an hour is important to notice and pay attention to, because you're getting 40 to 60 parts extra in that hour, which you need to do, I'm also thinking about how big your setups are and how much downtime must play into the setup of the entire masterpiece you're creating, not just the on-off of the parts. Would you see a real benefit in that?
Absolutely. So, and you're talking more about like the MIDACO integration of things, right? So
Exactly right.
So what we've done is we've kind of maximized the efficiency inside of the mill. So the space that we have, the footprint of inside of the mill to be able to move machine, we've maximized that to about what we can handle, and we've done that by creating these massive fixtures that you can see right here. And that does a couple of things for us. One, it makes, the part cycle times longer. So that was one of our ways to actually maximize this machine. But the other thing it does is in turn makes more parts, which, is a great thing. However, that making more parts makes more downtime when you're reloading those parts. So without these MIDACO pallets, you're in here, you're unloading 96 parts, where it used to be, 30, 40 parts, now is 96. That takes way longer. So that 15-minute, downtime that you get when you're reloading these parts is now, way more within that 8-hour shift. So,
and that to me, Thomas, is the cutting side of things, which, I mean, we need it, right? We need to pay attention to that. But when I'm looking at a piece like this, it's heavy. You've actually split it into two. Right. And how many of the people out there, how many of you out there right now are taking hours of setup time when it comes to a new fixturing you're putting into the machine? And I know you have to do that quite often, a new fixturing. You'll even run the same pallet to cut parts while setting that up. Imagine everyone out there who has that hours and hours and hours of setup time. Have you seen benefit there as well?
Absolutely, yeah. And with these pallets, I mean, just what you're saying, if one pallet is not exactly up and set up and completely running perfectly fine, we will typically have the other one running, and we'll do it the old style, a little bit more grueling in that, it's 96 parts that you still have to take in and out, but you have the setup outside of the machine to take off these massive fixtures, that can weigh 25 pounds each that you have to lift in and out. You do that outside of the machine, you have spindle time that you're running while you're doing that. So that's a huge benefit. And not only for like our operators, but for our machinists that have to do that, right? We have something about 40, 45 SKUs just on the vertical machines here, which, we have to set up for these, twice a week potentially, We have to run flat parts, we have to run 3D parts, things like that changeovers are a real thing in this industry. So helping anywhere we can in that respect is huge. Cutting down in that is very difficult without, something like this, You can go into fastening and, ball locks and all of that technical stuff, but it really comes down to, is your spindle running? So that's what we've tried to focus on here, and we've seen, especially in a horizontally dominant machine shop, it was easy to see that having two pallets is way better. It's like if you own a bakery, you don't have one pan that you wait for the bread to come out, and then you take it out, you clean it, you put the, everything back on there, put it back in, and then wait for it again. You have two pans. So that's exactly what we've tried to do here tonight.
Well, Thomas, I never like to pretend I know everything. Certainly not about questions. It's definitely when I'm learning at a beautiful place like this. Is there anything I haven't asked you today that you'd like to convey as a message, as a part or a spokesperson now, being on the MTD channel, the face of Spark R&D? Is there anything I haven't asked you, a message you'd like to convey, even if it's just the connection of what you do and what the passion is behind your products to the people you work with, or to the manufacturing world, because you are an engineer that graduated here in Montana, and you believe in the importance of automation. So I'm just kind of leaving the floor open to you for something I haven't said, to allow you to convey that message to our audience as well.
Absolutely, and thank you for giving me the time. In the manufacturing industry, there's a lot of companies, I feel like, that have, products or, maybe a job shop, things like that, you're kind of just doing it as, a wash, rinse, repeat, something like that. Here at Spark R&D, I mean, everybody uses this product. If they don't use this product directly, they know somebody who does, So like that passion and that buy-in that we have here is just incredible to see. And it honestly makes the process, like all of these machines and the entire company a great place to work at, so.
Really a great way to close this out. Thomas, thank you so much for your time and your friendship. Just like they say on Step Brothers, did we just become best friends?
Did we become best friends? You want to go to karate in the garage?
Yeah, absolutely we do. And on top of that, I've already asked Thomas, when we come back in the cold weather and there's snow, you guys will get to see me fall on my face while Thomas is a pro going up on these split boards into the mountains. So although we are able to show footage of other people who are professionals doing this, I will eventually come back and make a fool of myself as well. So stay tuned for that one. Thomas, thank you so much, my friend.
Can't wait to have you back.